Alright, so let's try to solve this problem here. If you notice here, the first, this is a system of linear equations, just the ones we saw yesterday. Now what is new here, look at the second line here. If the system has no solution, say that it is inconsistent, which is really new to us. We don't know exactly why system may not have solutions, or is it really possible? So yes, it is possible that you probably have a system of linear equations where there are no solutions because you may not have enough information, or even if you have the information, there are some cases when you cannot get x, y, and z's from the system of linear equations. Now, how do you know it from the matrix? You know, when you do the matrix operations, anytime, if your operations are right, and even if the operations are right, you see that one of the row becomes 0 all the way from left to right. Everything becomes 0. That means this system has no solution. This is an inconsistent system, and there is no way you cannot get a solution from this system. Okay. This is not inconsistent. I'm sorry. This is not inconsistent, but the system has multiple solutions. Okay, meaning there are many values of x for which, or many values of y, or many values of z for y, for which these three equations will satisfy. Now, when you have something like this, for an example, you are doing some row operations, and in the middle, you see something like this. For an example, you have everything in the left side, you have zeros, but in the right side, you have something else. That means everything in the left side, you have 0, but after the vertical bar, right side, you have some other number except 0, so any non-zero number. That means in this case, system is inconsistent. It does not have solution. Okay, but whenever you have all zeros, still you cannot get the solution. But this means your system has a multiple solution. Okay. Now let's check for that. So we'll not do something differently for this, but in the middle of our operations, if we see something like this, then we'll stop there. And we'll tell that, okay, the system is inconsistent, we cannot get the solution because of this. Or system has multiple solutions, so we cannot get it either. So just to be careful, because right now we are a little bit in advanced mode. So let's start from the augmented matrix here. So what do you do first? So the first equation, 1, 1, I'm writing all the coefficients, and the vertical bar 1, 1, -1, then vertical bar -1. That's for the first equation. Second equation, 4, -3, 2, vertical bar 16. Last equation, 2, -2, -3, vertical bar 5. Now this is what you were given. Now what are your objectives? Your objectives again is the same. That diagonally you want all 1s. Everything else in the left side has to be 0. That's what you want. So you'll be doing all the row operations based on that objective. Now how do you start? We always start from here, and the first objective is to make it 1. So this is already 1, so that objective is met. You don't have to do anything for that because that is already 1. Now what is next? See, this is met. So the next is we want to make this 0. 4. Anyone has any idea that how to make it 0? What row operations we can pick for that? Good. So we can multiply. There are probably multiple options. At some point I said that sometime you will have multiple options, but the most of the cases we choose the row which we already fixed. So for an example, the first row is already fixed for us for the first element, because this element is set. We exactly want this here. So what we can do is we can multiply this row by -4. Then this will be -4, right? This element will be -4, and you will be adding with this. So negative 4, positive 4 becomes, if you add, 0, because you want 0 there. Okay. But if you can probably also choose this. We don't prefer it, but you can also choose this. You can multiply this row by negative 2. Then this becomes negative 4. You can add it. Still you will get the same answer. But your steps will be different. In the middle of your steps, our steps and your steps will be dissimilar, but at the end, everything will be again same. Now let's do the first one. So the operation we are choosing here is the row 2 equals to, because we're writing the formula. Row 2 is negative 4 times row 1, because we are multiplying row 1 by negative 4, plus row 2. If you notice here, we always write, in the left side of the formula, we always use the capital R. In the right side, we use the small r, because this is the convention book follows. The reason behind this convention is because by the capital letter, we mean that this is the new one. And by the small ones, we mean that this is the current one. And this is what you're going to see. Okay, because the R2 is going to be changed, right? Now, so let's write the R1 as it is, because we are not doing anything here. So R1 is as it is. Now here we'll be multiplying everything by 4 and adding here, so this becomes 0. How about this? I'm sorry, everything by negative 4. Negative 4 plus negative 3, this becomes negative 7. Negative 4 times negative 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. 4 plus 16 is 20. And the row 3 is still same. Now what is next? The next objective is to make the column 1 third element to be 0, because we want this to be 0 right now. To make it 0, what is our options? What are our options? You might have multiple options, but choose one. What is our option for this one? How to make it 0? Do the same, the one that you did before. Just multiply the top row by negative 2, similar to the one that we did. Multiply the top row by negative 2 and then add it with the row 3. So we'll be exactly doing the similar steps here, similar rule here. Let's write the rule. This time this is about row 3. We'll be multiplying row 1 by negative 2 and add it with row 3. So what happens? So we'll be writing row 1 and row 2 as it is, because we are not changing anything there. Row 1, row 2 as it is. And for row 3, this is going to be 0. You multiply this by negative 2, add it here. So negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. Multiply this by negative 2, this becomes positive 2 plus negative 3 minus 1. Positive 4 plus 5 is 9. Seven. Which one? Here, this one? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I forgot. So did I do it right? Oh, no. Negative 2. Oh, yeah. So negative 2 plus, it's 2 plus 5 is 7. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you. It's negative 7. So yeah, I multiplied last time by negative 4. So we have our first column ready. Everything in the first column is set right now. So what is the next objective? Next is we want the middle element to be 1. Now how to do that? What is the easiest step you have to make it 1? Yeah, multiply the row 2 by negative 1 over 7. Because whenever we make 1, most of the cases we multiply by something. And whenever we want zeros, we add or subtract. Basically, we subtract because what do? We multiply by negative number and add. So let's All right, so let's multiply the, okay, that's row 1 is same here. For row 2, we are multiplying the row 2 by negative 1 over 7. So this is going to be 1. This is going to be negative 6 times 7, because if you multiply 6 by negative 1 over 7, and this is going to be negative 20 by 7. So at any point when we are changing something, because that is our objective, we don't care about something, other elements of the row. Sometimes it may look a little bit ugly because you don't care about those. You are just doing the operation for the element that you want to change. So let's see, it's negative 4, negative 1, 7. All right, so what is next? At this point, we want this to be 0. So let's write the rule here. We multiplied the row 2 by negative 1 over 7, row 2. Okay, now we want that element to be 0. What are we going to do? We can multiply the middle row by negative 1 and then add here. So let's do that. So the rule is row 1 equals to negative 1 times row 2 plus row 1. So the first column will be same, nothing, no change here. This is going to be 0. We are multiplying this by negative 1. Oh, whoa. So this is row 2, I'm sorry. This is row 2. You are multiplying this by negative 1. So then this becomes 6 over 7 and adding it here. So 6 over 7 minus 1 is going to be negative 1 over 7, right? For this entry. So that's going to be negative 1 over 7. And here you are multiplying negative 20 by 7 by negative 1, which becomes 20 over 7. And then adding with negative 1. So this becomes 13 over 7, right? So let's write 13 over 7. Middle row, same, no change. And then last row, still same, no change. Now what is next? We now want this element to be 0. What we can do? Multiply the row 2 by 4. This becomes 4 and then add it with the row 3. If you do this, this becomes 4 because you want this to be 0. That's the only option you have, I see, at this point. So your rule is row 3 equals to 4 times row 2 plus row 3. Row 1 is same, no change. 13 by 7. Okay, for the row 2, still same, no change. Row 3, first entry is 0, second entry is 0. Third entry, you are multiplying this by 4. So this becomes negative 24 by 7. When you multiply this by 4, and then you are adding negative 1, then this becomes negative 31 by 7, right? Negative 31 by 7. How about here? You are multiplying negative 20 by 7 times 4. So you are doing this 4 times negative 20 by 7 and then adding 7. So what do you get? You will get negative 80 over 7 plus 7, so which means negative 73 by 7, right? So it will be negative 73 over 7. What is next? Now at this point you want this to be 1. What you can do to make it 1? Yeah, you have to multiply by negative 7 by 31 so that it becomes 1. That's the only option I see at this point. The only best option. Maybe you might have something else, but that's the best one. So the next step, let me write the rule to make it 1. Okay, the rule is row 3, we are multiplying row 3 by negative 7 by 31 times row 3. So the row 1 is same, 1 0 negative 1 0 1 oh row 2 is also same. For row 3 the first two elements are 0, last third element is 1, and this one becomes, you are multiplying by, okay, this becomes 73 over 31, right? Because you have negative 73 over 7 and you are multiplying this by negative 7 by 31. So the negatives are cancelled out, 7 and 7 cancel out, so you will be left with 73 by 31. Now, still you have two more elements, and then your first element is this one, which you want to make 0. How you can make it 0? What are the choice you have? You have to work with the row 3, right? Because, for an example, somebody might make a mistake here because he might think, okay, let's say we have negative 6 over 7 here. Maybe we can multiply this by 1 over negative 6. So make it 1 over 7 and add it, right? But that will make a trouble here because these will be added to 0. Then this 0 is messed up. You cannot see, you don't want to change anything in the column 1 and column 2. So you have to choose your option carefully so that nothing is changed in the other columns which you already fixed. So the only option is you have to work with the row 3 with the row 1. So what you can do is to make it 0, you have to make it 1 over 7, right? If you make it 1 over 7 and then add it, this becomes 0. So to make it 1 over 7, you have to multiply the whole row by 1 over 7, which might look a little bit ugly here because you were multiplying everything by 1 over 7 and then adding here. So let's see what you get. So your formula for this, your rule for this step is row 1 equals to 1 over 7 times row 3 plus row 1. You are multiplying the row 3 by 1 over 7 and then adding with the row 1. So let's go to here. So this is still 1 because you know all those two elements are 0, so nothing will be changing here because you are multiplying everything by 0. So this is 1 and zeros. This is going to be 0. And here you are multiplying, so you are multiplying 73 over 31 times 1 over 7 and then adding this with 13 over 7. Okay. So what do you get? Maybe to make it simple, just to make it simple, I can probably do this. 31 here, 31 here, and then this is your greatest divisor right now. 7 times 31, so this becomes 73 plus 13 times 31. Can anyone do the math? 13 times 31, how much is that? It's 310, 93, is 403 plus 73, so it's 476, right? And this is 217. Am I doing it right? Can you check in the calculator? Yeah. So 476 over 217. So let's write it here. So we are changing the row 1. So here this becomes 476 over 217. Okay, now the middle row still same, negative 20 by 7. And the last row 001 is still same, is 73 over 31. One more left, so we still have to take care of this one. We have to make it 0. That's probably the last step we have. So to make it 0, what are our options? You can multiply this row by 6 by 7 and then add it, right? You want 6 by 7 here. So let's do that step. So the rule is, what we are doing? The rule is you are changing the rule row 2. You are multiplying row 3 by 6 over 7 and then add it with the row 2. So the row 2 is going to be changed. Now let's write the row 1 as it is, which is 100, and vertical bar 476 over 217, middle row 0 1 0. Now we have to work it out that what we have here. So we are multiplying row 3 by 6 over 7. So this is our row 3 round. We are multiplying this by 6 over 7, and then we are adding negative 20 by 7. Again, to make it simple, let's multiply both denominator and numerator by 31, and then this becomes 217, and this becomes 73 times 6 minus 20 times 31. How much you get here? 217. $438. It's 438 minus 620. Can anyone check the calculation? And then we'll be left with what? What will be the calculation here? It's negative 182, negative 182 over 217. So that's negative 182 over 217. So and the last row is still same. So you have 73 over 31. So we can stop here because we have the row echelon form. Can you simplify these terms? Is it divisible by 31? No. This one? Negative 26 over 31? 68 over 31. Oops. Alright, so we now have the solution for the system of linear equations, and this is consistent because we never have seen any row with all zeros in the left side or everything is zero. So this is the solution for x, y, and z. And if you want to verify, you can check with, let's say, the first equation, because if this is the solution of the system of linear equation, it should satisfy each and every equation we have there, unless we made a mistake. It's easy at this point because you have all those denominators of 31. So if you add and subtract x, y, and z, this is going to be your x, this is y, and this is z. So is this matching? So the solution is right. So no. Where? For this one? Using the calculator? So in that case, we might make a mistake somewhere. Okay, let's check the, let's verify that, because we might make a mistake somewhere. So, which step? Here? Here? Row 3? This one as well? So okay, now let's start from here. So we wanted to make it 0. So what we did, we multiplied this row by 4 and added with row 3. We might make a mistake. Let's check. So this becomes 4. We add this. So we multiply this by 4, right? And add it here. So this becomes negative 24 by 7. This is right? So the only problem is with this one. Okay, now let's check this one, because this is like, let's try this. What do we do? We might make a mistake. So let's see. Negative 20 by 7, and we multiplied it by 4, right? Let's multiply it by 4. And then we add it with 7. Okay. Oh, I remember what I did. But I think I made a mistake here, because I added 1 over 7, I think. I was doing the calculation here. You should stop me at the time, because I probably did this, right? Because I can see it now. So okay, now let's fix it. So this was negative 80 plus 7 plus 7. Yeah, because I remember I got like 73 because of 1 over 7. Yeah. So what do you get? You get 7 over 49, right? Is 31. Yeah, that's exactly what you get, right? So this is 31 here. Okay, now row 3 is now 31. So we change the row 3 here again. And then what do we did? We multiplied by these. So that was negative 31 by 7, and we multiply it by negative 7 by 31, so that becomes 1. Okay, so z is 1. So here the z is 1 again. What we changed? We again involved, we multiplied this by, so this is right, because you know everything will be here, I think fine, because we just followed the step, but everything in the last column will be changed. So what we did here is, let's see, we multiplied this by 1 over 7, which eliminated this. 1 over 7 times row 1. 1 over, is it 1 over 7 or 1 over 6 over 7? Because we did 6 over 7 and added. Or we just wrote the, wait. So we did that for here. That was fine. Okay, we did it for this one because I wrote the rule for this after the rule is applied here. So we are multiplying row 3 by 1 over 7 and then adding with this. This is 1 over 7. So here it will be changed, right? This is 1 right now. So let's see what is changed. So we multiply this by 1 over 7 and adding with this, which becomes, so this becomes 20 by 7. This is 1. We multiplied it by 1 over 7, right? So this becomes 1 over 7, and then we added row 1. Over 7, okay, 14 over 7, so this is 2, so let's correct this one. So this is going to be 2 here. Okay, now this is 2 for this row, the row 1. Now the row 1 is fixed. Now at this point, what we did? We multiplied the row 3 by 6 over 7 to make it 0, which is right, and then we added row 2. So let's try this one for this entry, this element. So we are multiplying row 3 by 6 over 7 times row 3. Row 3 is 1, and then adding it with row 2, which is this. This is negative 20 by 7, which is negative 14 by 7, which is negative 2. Okay, so let's see, we got it here right, I think. This is 2, this is already 1, this is negative 2. That's what you get? Yeah, that was for the mistake. So you should stop me, because you know, because everybody can make mistakes. So now, at this point, we tried a couple of system of linear equations, but for all of those system of linear equations, the steps are same, because the step was we first write the augmented matrix, and then we start from there, and we try to find the row echelon form, reduced row echelon form. And once we have the reduced row echelon form, we know that, okay, the first row you have x, and middle row you have y, because this is the x, this is y, and this is z. So all the questions you have here will be similar, and you will probably see the same question, because these are the same questions. So we can stop the section 8.1 here, and then we'll go for next section, which is the section 8.5.